Hey guys. So welcome to So Raw. I don't know, it's like a wannabe podcast, but it's like not a podcast. It's like a podcast if you bought it on Wish. So the reason why I chose So Raw as the title is because of this video clip. This video is so raw, you guys. Fuck. That's one of the ones that is a popular one, or obviously situation type deal, or the fact that I say moments a lot, and books is good for the brain, or mental things is scary, but so raw. This content is gonna be so raw. This is me spilling tea I've never spilled before. It's just like random topics, advice, questions, opinions, my take on things, like news, like literally everything and anything. So my username is velvet.and.honey, velvet and honey. So you can go there, DM me. My DMs are open for literally everybody. And it's just simply for aesthetic. I thought of a few other ones, Blake and honey. I just love the word honey. It's just like an aesthetic word. It's pretty. I don't know if you guys know the song, but I like my girls like I like my honey, you know, sweet, selfish. So the first thing we're gonna get into is, how did your ex propose to you? So I do want to say that during my time doing So Raw, I will be talking about my past experiences, and I don't want to shy away from things that I've been through just because someone else was involved. That's silly. That's not only silencing me, but it's taking away my human experiences. I'm not shading anyone. I'm just talking about an experience where I was engaged. I've actually been engaged twice. The first time was when I was 17. So I don't even know if that really counts. Just about almost 2 years ago, I was engaged, and I kind of want to share how I got proposed to, because everyone has dreams of how they want their partner to propose to them. I know I do. I'm very vocal about it as well. Let your partner know. If they do it, that's great. They listen to you. If they don't, well, that sucks. So I've always been super vocal about how I want it to happen. Like, I want it to be personal. I don't like no public proposals. Also super shy, and I know it's hard to believe, but I don't like the attention on me. I actually kind of hate it, which is hard to believe because I am a YouTuber, but I promise. But I do want it to be romantic, like, you know, some petals, some candles, some beautiful music. Like, I want to be looking good, maybe right after a date night, or, you know, just like super romantic. I'm talking like so cheesy that we're just both pepper jack cheese, like living our best life. Like, I want things that you see in stupid romantic movies. Like, that's what I want. But how I was proposed to, I was sitting in the living room. It was about 2 a.m. and I was in a muumuu, living my best life. Don't think I showered that day. Who knows? And I remember it being January 13th because my partner thought that she wanted to change that day for me, because years prior, that's a day that I got broken up on, like where my heart broke. She wanted to change that day for me into something special. Her heart was in a good place, but it was in a place that I don't know. It was just weird. Okay, so I'm in my muumuu, not showered, hair greasy as per usual, and all of a sudden, like, she comes out, like, she's also in her pajamas, like living our actual separate lives in the same home. I don't know. When she walked out of the bedroom with something in her hand, and it was like this clear box, she just sat down across from me and handed it to me, and I looked at it. It was a tiny pink vibrator with a engagement ring wrapped around it. Like, it was like, say this is the vibrator, it was like on it, like that. And she looked at me and said, "Will you have sex with me for the rest of my life?" And I said yes. We hadn't had sex. We had sex one time. I don't know. It was very like disconnected. I don't know, but that's how I was proposed to. Or I thought we actually bullshitted before in like a past live stream, but maybe not. And I know not everyone sat through those live streams because that was like a whole different era that was like super boring. Okay, so here we have an advice column asking Amberlynn, you know, advice with Amberlynn, because I have all the advice. The advice that someone needs from me. I'm talking to my teacher on Snapchat. Technically, it's my professor. I had this professor last year and we were flirty then, and I thought that was it. Until I found out I had them again this semester, and we picked things right back up. This time on Snapchat. I'm 21 and she's 45. Sure, it's unethical, and I didn't find anything too wrong with it until I found out she's married. Help. Let's just digest this. 21 and 45, that's a huge age gap. You guys are both adults. So I'm just gonna digress away from that because I'm not gonna sit here and judge people. As long as you're legal, she's your professor. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that not only, like you said, that's unethical, but she can get fired, which I think that she should, because I don't think that students and professors should ever have that type of intimate relationship. Like, it's college, bro. Like, if you're falling in love with a student, you're not gonna want to grade them bad on their homework. And they're married. I don't fuck with no cheaters. Like, they're actually married. You need to talk to the head of the college, let them know, save those Snapchats, show them what your professor is doing, because it's not right. Are you the first person they've done this to? Is this something that they do all the time? They choose like their little favorite and they start like grooming them when you're with someone who has like this higher power over you? No, it's pretty simple. They're married, they're your professor, go to the authorities. You might think they're fine wine, but they deserve prison time. So I have been asked a lot to talk about my foster care experience. And honestly, I have tried so hard to like do whole videos dedicated to that, but it would take a lifetime. But I feel like to maybe work my way up to talking a little more about it, we'll talk about the first few hours after I was taken from my parents. So I was in elementary school, I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I remember getting called into the office. I was young, going through traumatic experiences. So I'm only gonna be able to share what I actually remember. There's gonna be a lot that I leave out, obviously. So I get called into the office and there's a police officer there, and I was like, okay, this is weird. And they also called in my brother. Don't be scared, girl.
Oh my God, this is gonna suck.
What is the birth order of me and my siblings?
Tony, you, Jonathan, James.
No! I'm the oldest. I'm older than Tony.
What?
So it's me, then Tony, then Jonathan,
Oh my
then
God.
James. And then I had a baby brother who was about 1 year old, maybe a little younger than that. So me and my brother get put in this cop car, and next I know, we have my little brother. I don't remember how we got him, because I know we didn't go by obviously our home, which was a trailer, run down, moldy, holy, drug infested, just disgusting trailer. So we're in the cop car and we have me and my brothers, and next thing you know, we come to this like huge house and my baby brother's getting taken. It was so sad. I remember a woman with short hair standing at the doorway. Me and my brother were allowed to go and say bye. And then they end up taking us to the police station, where I just remember sitting there for hours. And I think they tried to explain to us what was happening, how they're gonna take us to a children's shelter, how my baby brother was in like this foster home. We're sitting at this police station. I honestly don't know why. And then we get dropped off at this big building where we see like all these random staff, and they're like asking us questions. Like, there's so many questions and so much paperwork. I'm like, me and my brother are young. Why are you asking us? Like it was just so traumatic. And then they separate us because boy hall and girl hall was obviously separated. Preteens and teens did come together like during the day, but when it came to like showers and like bedrooms, obviously the boys and girls were separated. So when me and my brother were separated, I thought I was never gonna see him again. They had this like sheet, this paper of like someone's body, and I had to get completely naked in the shower. They had to look all over my body. They had to write down if I had any marks anywhere, etc. It seems very weird. I feel like as the woman that I am now, I would have declined, but I feel like if I would have declined, I would have gotten in trouble, because while living in the children's shelter, like, you had to do everything that you're told to do. They had like a point system and you got points for doing what they told you to do, and then if you declined, you got like negative points, which like you didn't get to do like games or go on outings and stuff like that. It was like a P+, P- system. Every day we lived our life based off of these points. Like, that's what we were as human beings. So after they checked my body and all that, I had to shower. They found that I had head lice. Obviously I had head lice. I had head lice for a majority of my childhood, until I went to the children's shelter and they did the craziest like thing to my hair that I have not had head lice since then. And when I tell you my parents tried to get rid of my head lice multiple times and it never worked, I haven't had it since then. So after I took the shower, they did the head lice treatment. It was actually dinner time by that point, and that's when I got to meet all of the other kids, and I think that's where we're gonna end it there. So it was just traumatic. I was confused. It wasn't until later on, like a few days later, where I started to understand what was really happening. But we can maybe talk about that some other time. But do I still like Trisha Paytas, and what is my current opinions on her now? So I don't know if you guys know, but I used to be Trisha Paytas stan. Like, I was obsessed with her. I bought all her books, anything that she was selling and doing, I would watch, I would read, I would get, I would buy. Then Frenemies happened. Frenemies, iconic, like so iconic. But it made me see Trisha Paytas in a completely different light. The things that she would do, the things that she would say, the things that she would lie about, the gaslighting, the way that she treated Ethan, I completely changed my opinion about her. I don't think that she is a good, genuine person, and I am no longer subscribed to her. I don't watch her. I do know that she's pregnant. I'm really happy for her because I know that having children has always been hard for her, and the fact that she found someone who loves her unconditionally, or that's hard for me to say because I know that she has abused him physically, and I'm pretty sure mentally and emotionally as well. Like, Frenemies brought out her true colors, in my opinion, and I thought Frenemies was gonna help people see her in a better light, but I feel like it obviously did the opposite effect. I feel like Trisha Paytas gets away with literally everything bad and disgusting and racist and homophobic, mental illness shaming, body shaming. She gets away with everything. She has said so many things that has actually made me angry. I try not to like talk about it because like I don't want her, because I know that she has watched me in the past. Highly doubt I'm on her mind anymore. I don't like expressing when I don't like someone. So next segment is random fact of the day. Cute little buck. It is true facts that sound like bullshit. I love bullshit. Kangaroos perform adoptions. Okay. Humans aren't the only species to perform adoptions. Kangaroos have been known to accidentally abandon their young, only to have them raised by other kangaroos. Sometimes kangaroos even voluntarily swap babies. Can you imagine swapping your baby? You're like, actually, I'd rather have that baby female with brown eyes over male with blue eyes. So can we swap? So this first rumor is Amberlynn is suing her city for the fall. So I don't and won't be talking about my ankle or anything to do with that. So no, Amberlynn is not suing the city for falling. There is a cat. Hi. Oh, babies. I gotta go talk to my lawyer because I'm suing the city. Are you gonna come with me? You coming with? We're gonna go make that money. Y'all, I'm not suing the city. Even Rarity's like, y'all, this is so dumb. Like, what do you mean? I don't sue people. I've never sewn people. I've never sued. I've never sued someone. I won't sue someone. Unless you're mean to my cat, I'm gonna sue you for animal abuse. Of course, there's another rumor. I was gonna try to do just one rumor per So Raw. Amberlynn and or Wifey got the subreddits taken down. I have been on Reddit maybe 3 times my whole life. Once was to read something about me. The 2 other times was to look up the hashtag 1500 is enough, which is like people who just eat 1500 calories and they like talk about it or whatever. Never went on there again, maybe one other time. But I've only ever went on subreddit, my subreddit like once. So no, wasn't me, wasn't Wifey. I could fucking care less. Goes to show that you are bullying. What you are doing in that subreddit is not okay. It is harassment, it is doxing, it is bullying, it is gross, it is clearly not allowed on reddit.com. Same goes with Kiwi Farms. That has been taken down. Why? Are you guys delusional? Are you delusional? So no, it wasn't me, it wasn't Wifey. It was a higher power. Okay, I'm not talking about God or the universe or freaking Buddha. Next segment is called Bad Choices because you know we've all had them. We all make bad choices. So I figured per episode, I would answer 3 of these bad choices. We have a truth or drink card, and we also have these 141 outrageous questions, conversation starters. I don't know, am I actually gonna answer these? All right, so I'm just gonna choose like a random 3. Have you ever played strip poker? I actually never have played strip poker, and I don't think I ever will. I don't like my body. I don't want anyone seeing my body. Would you pose as a nude model for an art class? Again, don't like my body. I don't want people seeing my body. I would love to see someone my size do that. I think we need to see someone a little more like me next time. Last one. Have you given out a fake phone number in the past year? I have not, but I actually recently was telling Wifey about a story when I was in high school. There was this guy. What is the worst decision you have made while incredibly horny? A hand job in the movie theater, double hand job with a guy and his cousin. Yep.
You total slut.
So there was this guy that I ran into 3 different times at 3 different locations. And the first time he was like, have your number? I gave him the Jenny Craig number. Then I saw him again at the Kmart in the makeup aisle. And it was like a couple weeks later and he was like, the number like wasn't the right one. And I was like, no, I promise it was. And then I ended up just giving him my number, but I switched one number at the end. And then I saw him for a third time and I said, I don't know, I guess just the numbers aren't working. And he like actually believed it. So he was like, do you have a MySpace? Because back then it was MySpace. And I was like, no, I actually don't. Like bad vibes, like give me some bad vibes. Like you could tell that he was the type of guy who asked anyone with 2 legs and a hole for their number, and I was not in it. I have made out with way too many people, way too many guys. You can literally call me the kissing whore, but that's okay. So that is actually the end of the first episode of So Raw. Every single Tuesday, you guys are gonna get one of these, I'm pretty sure. Not sure what time on Tuesday because I might wanna film these on the day of or the day prior, so I'm not sure like what time. Because this video is so raw, you guys, fuck. This video is so raw, you guys, fuck.
I'm always trying to see through your flaws, 'cause I know that you got so much more to give. You made a real mess, but I miss you though, 'cause I can go to sleep when I'm alone again. Say you wanna fix our problems. How long should I be waiting?